eventually.
Because he went to the World Cup and scored a goal,
yes.
or score goals,
yes.
right? Jerry, that's not.
Well, now, how do you justify it?
See, I mean, okay,
how
fine.
How do you justify Musa's inclusion now? Let's look at it today now.
Jerry,
2018 has gone. This is 7 years
Jerry,
after.
if by stroke of luck, Musa makes it to this championship, this Unity Cup, and then maybe perhaps the Nations Cup, because of course you cannot tell me they're just going to be using him for this. This is just like Nigerian CEO, he never finished for anybody. This is what they're trying to do with him. Now let's say he actually leads this Super Eagles team to this Unity Cup. He actually gave a very good account of himself, a very good performance. That's going to be all right. Perhaps his comment might be justified. Being part of the Super Eagles going to the Nations Cup, and then or maybe the next World Cup qualifier game, he is given a chance to be part of the team. In that particular game, he gets a goal, and then Musa's still good though. And then we're talking about him playing the next Nations Cup, and then he joined the party to that particular tournament, and then he gets maybe 1 or 2 goals. This same conversation we were having, we'll still be having it. He justified the slot in the end. That's exactly what it is. The truth is, if you are not good at the time, you're not supposed to be part of any major tournament. That's how a national team that has standard operates. It's not about, we don't have to actually start assuming perhaps he might go there and find his form or find his feet in the tournament. That's not how top teams operate. If you want to be a top team, if you want to be a team that is to be revered across the world, you have to actually bring your best leg at that point. It's one thing to actually go with your best leg and then they end up not giving the best result you're expecting. It's another thing to actually go with players who are actually not your best leg and then hoping they give you the best result. It's not fair on those players who actually work their self out to be in good shape, and then you bring in somebody because perhaps the person has a godfather or somewhere, or a person has someone who can actually pull the string and then change the dynamics of the team. It's actually not fair. We've been having this Ahmed Musa conversation right from the 35-man list. If he eventually didn't make it to a double header, and now they're finding a back door to actually bring him in. This is exactly what it is. Of course, we know that, okay, for some reasons, he's not, he wasn't part of the Chan Eagles that qualified for the Chan tournament. But now he's here. Some of the players who qualified for that tournament are not also going to be part of it. So this is the question. Why then do we even have, a team that is going to be playing the Chan tournament? As far as we know in Africa, the Chan tournament is the next biggest tournament after the AFCON, before the CAF Champions League. So why don't we have the best legs in Nigerian league being part of this particular championship?
For me, I think the CAF Champions League is bigger than the Chan tournament.
How is it bigger?
Yeah, because of the level of the competition, 1, and 2.
Level of the competition?
Yes, the money involved.
Jerry, sometimes, no, Jerry, money.
The Chan is an afterthought. See, let me tell you, CAF is not giving that competition any relevance.
See, I'm not even talking about...
That's the truth.
No, Jerry.
So it's the relevance and how serious they take the competition. That's how
how do you mean? How do you mean no relevance? What it's the African Cup of Nations for players playing in Africa. That's what it is. It's not actually different from
if they want
CAF
to now give the CAF award for the player based in Africa, what yardstick is that player used to judge?
They give them based off their performance across the year now.
For which competition?
The league. Okay, the best player playing in Africa.
Yes, the category. They created it during Abutrika's time.
Okay. So Jerry, right now, this particular award, this tournament, they don't play it every year. Yeah. So any year they play this particular tournament, I think it's a new tournament. It's not more than 10 years now.
It's more than. I think it was after 2013 Nations Cup. Yes, the following Nations Cup, because I remember.
Yes, took our team.
2014, 2015. Let's say 2015.
Okay, so let's about 10 years now, right?
More than 10 years.
2015, 2025,
okay.
That's 10 years now.
Yeah, 10 years.
Right. So that particular year, this 10 years running. So if you look at this tournament, right, the number of times they've played it, the years they played this particular tournament, this particular tournament is going to be criteria to name the best player in Africa. That's what it is.
But that has not been the case.
The reason why we've not really been following the tournament is because, I mean, we've really not been qualified. We've really not been qualifying.
Even when we qualified, they've never, the Chan event, with all due respect, has never been relevant. It has just been a competition to console the home-based players, to give them a competition to play.
See, Jerry, I agree.
But as
all these things you are saying is actually not wrong.
Is what is relevant than even them. Even the Confederations Cup is more relevant than the Chan event. Yes, that's the fact. CAF Confederations Cup. Yes, it's more relevant because what does it generate? It doesn't even generate interest. It does not generate any money. It's just a competition.
Jerry, yeah. Actually, it's actually a very new tournament, and people are yet to really understand, you know, to really understand the difference
you
between.
Cannot compare. CAF Champions League is one of the oldest.
I'm not talking about. I'm not talking about. You know, I'm not talking about the value or the.
That's what
Jerry. See, pride, national pride, will obviously naturally supersede anything. That's what it is. National pride will always be first before any other thing.
It's just another Team B arranged competition. It's just like a Waffle B Cup.
No.
It's an upgraded Waffle B Cup.
No, Jerry, you cannot call this. You cannot call this.
Even Waffle B Cup. Let me not tell you, Waffle B Cup even have more relevance.
Jerry.
You know why? Calm down. It's true the Waffle B Cup, they get to qualify to be a part of the CHAN. Even the Waffle B Cup, that's where the under 20 get to be a part of the African.
Okay, so you are saying a tournament that is like a prelude to a major tournament, because if the Waffle B Cup is where they get the qualifying slot to the CHAN, you are now saying the prelude is more relevant. Jerry, no.
See, there are even sometimes the CHAN event will even hold. People will not even know that there's anything that called CHAN.
People know, but when you don't qualify, like sometimes we don't.
It's really the journalists that know, because even, let me tell you, the sponsorship, everything.
Let's even talk about the AFCON itself. How big is the AFCON in terms of
the AFCON? The AFCON definitely doesn't even have a conversation.
No. What I'm saying
is,
as
far as relevance is concerned, in Africa, AFCON #1.
There's no dispute.
CAF Champions League #2.
There's no dispute.
Confederations Cup #3.
Jerry, Confederations Cup.
Waffle B #4. See. Then you now even the one they play in the CONCACAF, is it COSAFA? The COSAFA Cup
is bigger
than the CHAN. Go and Google, check the relevance of COSAFA Cup to even the CHAN event. Anyway, Mario, I don't know whether Mario is with us. Let's bring you on, and of course, look at this conversation. Yeah, he's talking about the relevance of CHAN. Anyway, I know why he's fighting for CHAN, because maybe they have told him he's going to be the next CEO of the CHAN event organization committee. Maybe there's a proposal somewhere.
No, Jerry.
Anyway, Mario, it's great to have you on locker room.
It's always amazing to me. I mean, you know, I came in when we were talking about Ahmed Musa being part of the team and the rest of that. And I want to quickly correct something. CHAN started 2009. This is the 16th year for CHAN. Yeah,
thank you very much.
16th year for CHAN, and you know, to be honest with you, the way they've run the CHAN tournament, there has no consistency with the CHAN thing. So, in as much as an avenue, and the reason for that was after the 2008 awards, there were a lot of rancor as regards. You know, how do you recognize African players that play in Africa, especially coming from the backdrop of the Egyptian team that dominated the Nations Cup from 2006 to 2010. They were not recognized accordingly, and that was one of the reasons why they decided, to come up with the idea of CHAN to recognize players in Africa. If they are putting a whole lot of energy, putting a whole lot of organization into organizing CHAN, it will have, it's much more better than COSAFA. A lot of people do not know. You rightly mentioned COSAFA Cup that is held in the southern region of Africa, South Africa, and the rest of that. Those teams from that region. It has more standing CHAN. It shows, the kind of organization that has gone into CHAN, and that's the reason why, CHAN does not have a lot of credibility. I hope, Musepe and just of them will be able to do something much more better. Let's now go back to the issue of Ahmed Musa. What is Ahmed Musa doing in the national team? There is no reason for Ahmed Musa to be part of the team going to England. Yes, let's go back 7 years. Ahmed Musa was not supposed to be part of that team if there was no godfatherism. And an ex-NFF president came out and was very bold. Ahmed Musa was my slot. In what same, climb do you have people advocating for a player that was not at his peak at that particular time? But however, because he has a spokesperson in the NFF, they decided to take him to the World Cup. Yes, he scored a goal, but that has taken away from those, who were playing regularly, who were actually supposed to be part of that team. But because he has somebody speaking for him, now there's another person speaking for him, And I will not be shocked if it is the same ex-NFF president, because we know the ex-NFF president runs things behind the scene. I will not be shocked if it's because of that reason Ahmed Musa is being mentioned as part of this. We are using this opportunity to try and build a team and to be able to get players that will be able to step up when our established players are not there. In what sense does it make to bring a 35-year-old Ahmed Musa that's come to the end of his career into a team that we are trying to rebuild? It does not make any sense. And I hope, Chelle and those pushing this agenda in the NFF, I hope they do this for the sake of development of our football. Because what is the merit of Ahmed Musa joining this particular team? Somebody that has been out of the national team for a very long time. And this is not a new player that we're trying to discover. We already know what he can do. We want to use this opportunity to get players that will be able to play for Nigeria. I hope the NFF, will think through this mess that they want to create and probably leave a chair alone to let him do the job that they have appointed him to do.
And then maybe that will make me to bring out the Foundation Invitational Tournament. For those who don't know, is a competition that will be held in England, the United Kingdom, and Nigeria, Ghana, Jamaica, and Trinidad and Tobago will all be involved. And there's also a friendly against the Russian national team. And according to report, Musa has been in impressive form for Kano Pillars this MPFL season. And there's also talk that he will lead the team against Ghana in the semi-finals on the 28th of May. That's the day after Children's Day. And of course, it's tagged the Unity Cup. And yesterday, we brought up the conversation about the Unity Cup and the importance and the kind of players we would like Eric Chelle to invite. Okay, 12 new faces. Definitely, we don't know the names of those 12 new faces yet. I think it came up. Ikechukwu was of the opinion that the Chan Eagles should prosecute this friendly and maybe invite some under 20 players. I said, yes, fine, it's a good idea. But look at the Chan Eagles. What relevance are they going to give to the competition? Because eventually, if we are going to play against South Africa, are we going to use the Chan Eagles on the bench? Because the Chan Eagles players, most of them, okay, let me say, most of them just play the NPFL season. How many of them, maybe if you say maybe, how many of them for Remo Stars? Even when the Super Eagles they were supposed to pick players, they picked a third choice goalkeeper to be in part of Eric Chelle's last provisional list. You all remember? Politics was also played in that aspect. So if you are now championing the cause that they should use the Chan Eagles, the purpose of that friendly will be defeated. And of course, we also argue about the Flying Eagles. I think we used almost 30 minutes to talk about the Flying Eagles and Eric Chelle visiting Egypt to cheer them on. I said it's a distraction. There's no need for Eric Chelle to visit them now. If they are in the final, fine. Yes, encourage them. But Super Eagles talk should not even be in the conversation. Let them now go to the World Cup and represent us and say, okay, they've done well. Because if I see any of those 12 names, it will be a distraction because this is May 28th. They are still busy with the under 20 AFCON. So they should not even be distracted. The Super Eagles should not be in a conversation as far as this under 20 boys is concerned. Mario, I don't know whether you share my view because I'll still get back to Ikechukwu on that one.
No, but the thing is this. I think, and I want to start from what you said. Ikechukwu made a valid point. We have clamored on this show a whole lot of time that the home-based players, those that are playing week in, week out, should be part of the national team way better than we having second choice, third choice players from playing abroad to come and play for the national team. And that's what we have had for a very long time. The Unity Cup is an avenue. Yes, definitely. I'm not saying pick 24 players from the Chan Eagles or pick 24 home-based players. No. But at least a healthy part of the team that will play the Unity Cup should come from home base. It will not be a bad idea if we have 12 might be too much. If we have at least 8, 9 of them being part of this team, and the rest that you want to scout from Europe being part of that particular, because we have said it consistently, it's always nice for us to have a blend of Super Eagles that has those with foreign experience and those that have cut their teeth in the local league here. That serves as a motivation for those playing in the local league here, such that we don't have player going to play in Tanzania so that he can be part of the national team. Case in point, Tanimu, who was playing in Tanzania, is Tanzania league better than Nigeria? But because he has stepped out of Nigeria, that's the reason why he was invited. So it will serve as an encouragement for them to be able to, to step up their game and to know that there is a future for them playing in Nigeria. I remember the early 80s, Christian Chukwu of blessed memory, Shegun Odegbami and the rest of them. They were playing in Nigeria here. Apart from Rashidi Yekini that was playing in Cote d'Ivoire then, majority of those that played in the 1980 Nations Cup winning side were playing in Nigeria here. So, I mean, we can replicate that again. Yes, times has changed, but we can replicate that again. Have people who are cutting their teeth in the Nigerian League be part of the Super Eagles. Now going to the under-20, Jerry, very right. There is no reason to distract the under-20 guys. They have a lot of things to prove to us. At the moment, we don't have a setup that will allow us, bring in an under-20 at the moment. We are not like Spain that has a proper setup. Let the under-20 focus on whatever they want to do. Eric Chelle should be worried about how to get his team together to go and play the Unity Cup. Let the under-20 be under-20. Let them finish the tournament that they are doing. Then concentrate on the World Cup. I think Eric Chelle visiting them will be a huge distraction, and I hope that will not get into their head the thought of being to the Super Eagles, and it will make them start fumbling in the tournament that they are already doing well at the moment.
I think Ikechukwu disagree. He says that I think the word was is going to encourage them to go all out and win the trophy.
That's what he went there for. Do you have any information as regards the reason why he's visiting?
His visiting is a distraction.
How will you think that's the issue? He can go there. I mean, at this point, there's nothing the coach is doing. So if he wants to be back,
is an idle mind. Okay.
Well, call it whatever it is you like.
But supporting it's not idle now. It shouldn't be idle. By now, he should be looking at players he wants to use in the Unity Cup. Because May 28th is just 2 weeks. About 2 weeks or so away.
Just traveling to Egypt to watch just one game. Is that going to take?
No, he's not going to watch one game. He will be there at least till when they last in the competition. Because watching one game will not make relevance of his trip. Just going to Egypt and just watch one game and come back. At least he should be there since he wants to motivate them.
Jerry, let's see.
He should be there to talk with the technical crew.
So okay, he should be there to all through the tournament.
Yes.
No, one game is enough.
In your own experience, how many national team coach just flies out to go and watch game for watching sake? He's going there to watch players.
No.
He's going there to watch players.
Maiwa, we should also understand that Chelle is quite new to this job. He's new to the Super Eagles setup. So all of these movements is just exactly one of those things that's going to make his job easier for him. And also look at this man
easier
again.
In what aspect?
Jerry, wait now. Look at this man again.
No,
John Kettin, how?
Yes, now because
he's going to watch the Super Eagles.
Wait,
he's the chief.
Is this the first time he's coaching a national? He coached the Malian national team. We didn't hear him. But this the Mali under-20 team during his time was still doing very well. And I don't know if I'm correct. I don't know if there was a time he was part of the coaching crew. We're going to visit.
He handled the Malian national team for I think about 2 years or less than 2 years. Yeah. And here we are. The under-20 World Cup is going to be happening this year. So which means 2 years ago was when it happened last. Wait, Jerry, how are we going to say okay, he didn't go to Mali, but he wants to Jerry?
The thing is that the funny thing about this under-20 team, I'm just worried now that
Jerry, you just want to go support them.
Wait. The thing is that this team has not even qualified for the World Cup.
So showing support, what's the big deal with showing support? You just want to support.
Jerry,
you're not thinking there's something else.
But instead they crash out the quarterfinals. Nobody will talk about them.
It's just support, Jerry.
No, I'm talking about this because everybody they beat Egypt. Was it Egypt they beat on 2 legs? Two games.
They beat Egypt. They beat Egypt first. They beat Tunisia and then drew Morocco. Egypt was just friendly match.
That's the only achievement they've had so far. They've not done anything in this competition.
You just want to watch them. Jerry just want to watch them.
They've not even gone to the final.
You are the one creating this idea of distraction and picking players.
This guy was talking about Lamine Yamal's situation. I say, Oga, you are going foul.
But
no,
Jerry.
That is they are going foul. These guys, they cannot even be mentioned in that category. Do you know why? I told him, these guys don't even have a club platform like Lamine Yamal's platform, or even the likes of Messi. Mikel had to wait until when he started. Mikel played under 17. You can remember?
In Finland, yes.
Nobody talked about him then.
This is not under 17 now. We're talking about under 20.
When you go to the under 20 AFCON, the CSL boys, nobody was even talking about them.
Mikel was not even part of the under 20 AFCON.
He was not part of the AFCON. So even the boys that persecuted that AFCON, how many of them do you remember people talking about?
A good number of them went to that World Cup.
Wait, now I'm saying a good
over 60% of them.
Yes, I'm talking about when they were on that 20 AFCON. How many players were being referred to? That the coach, I think the coach of the national team at 2005.
What's CSL now? CSL do that on the 20 team.
I'm talking about the Super Eagles coach.
Okay, Super Eagles coach. I think it was Christian Chukwu now. He took us to the Nations Cup 2004. I think it was still there.
Guabon took us to 2006 Nations Cup.
Christian Chukwu was our coach in 2004. I remember clearly.
He left 2005 after the Nations Cup. He left 2005.
So that's 2005.
Probably that period.
Yes.
Imagine Christian Chukwu was traveling to go and watch CSC's team in the first round.
No, wait, no, Jerry.
Why would you?
No, you are trying to.
Wait, you think that Christian Chukwu doesn't have a job?
Christian Chukwu cannot do that. Christian Chukwu is a Nigerian.
He's a Nigerian, homegrown.
He's a Nigerian. He understands the culture here.
Yes. Okay. So if he goes and see the other 20,
just to support.
Jerry.
But Chelle will be much more useful watching the Nigerian league. He has no business with the other 20.
Watching
the Nigerian
league is already done and dusted.
We know matches to go. That's still matches to go.
Jerry, Maiwa, the Nigerian league today, as of today, we can all agree that the best players in the Nigerian league are part of the CHAN setup. So whatever pool of players is looking for,
if you look at that CHAN Eagles, there's still a lot of debate about some players who make
Jerry, that team qualified to the championship. That's a good reason to believe that these guys are actually good
and
enough.
that is why Papa Daniel was picked out of that team.
Absolutely. So there's no reason to go watch the league again at this point.
No, there's still every reason. That would be unfair to players who are still showing some brilliance as the season is ramping up.
In the players that are part of the CHAN setup, you should go and watch them again.
No. Do you think? I think it would be wrong to streamline that the best legs in the league is with that CHAN team that qualified.
It's not wrong.
Do you know why?
The best leg in your league will make the national team.
Do you know why? Players would have picked up injuries now. Players would have dropped form. Some players would have left the NPFL, which now disqualifies them, because even when Papa Daniel was also making a move to be a part of to join a club side abroad. Let's say 8 of them have already moved. So you say they should go as just
okay. So
there's a need to always watch the league.
Him go watching this.
It's a waste of time.
No, okay, it's a waste of time to go watch the Nigerian league.
No, it's a better use of time to watch the Nigerian league than go.
Okay, let me ask. Going to watch.
Does he watch Remo Star?
Okay, going to watch the Nigerian league. Going to watch the Nigerian league. How many of the players will make it to the Super Eagles?
At least Papa Daniel is there. Papa Daniel is there, and the goalkeeper was also invited.
See, Jerry.
So you prefer him to use that time to watch the Nigerian league?
Is going
to go and support.
Tactically, he's going to support the coach. Tactically, that's what he's going there for.
What happened to the technical department of the national team?
He's the national team.
Papa is there to do that.
To do what?
Yes, to support them technically, to go and at least encourage them. Not Eric Chelle.
No.
Chelle's major focus
at this point,
should be the Super Eagles.
At this point, he's the head of Nigerian coaches.
His major responsibility on this contract says he should coach
every player. This group of players that we've been seeing him invite into the national team, their age range between 20 to 24, right?
Well, that's true.
And Musa is making the list though.
Wait,
20 to 24.
We all can. We all can tell. We all know the circumstances around Ahmed Musa.
I'm telling you, the chances of this.
Ahmed Musa seems to be a blue-blooded player among the Super Eagles. He's one player that will always get that pick whenever he wants to.
Eric Chelle might not even be around when these under 20 players will even graduate to even be good enough to play the under 23. No, talk about the Super Eagles. He might not still be the coach. So it's a pure waste of time.
No.
It's a pure waste of time going to watch
Amaju Pinnick brought in the likes of Ademola Lookman. Is he the chairman of NFF taking the glory of him becoming the best player in Africa today? This is a project. Somebody can start it. You don't have to finish it. Don't start thinking like Nigerian politician that will come into office and destroy that person's project and start to build your
Lookman was part of the under-20 for England.
That's what I'm saying. Now, what I'm saying is that this guy brought Lookman and Ola Aina and Co into the Super Eagles. See, as when they came into the Super Eagles, they were more like just one of those players. But today we have one of them as the best player in Africa.
Even wasting time with a team that has only produced players in Super Eagles. The last time we had under 20 players who graduated the Super Eagles was
20 years ago.
Was 20 years ago, 2005. Yeah. Yes, you are now going back to that team today. When you have a team that you don't, I'm not even sure of your.
He's going there to support these guys, Jerry.
We don't need the support.
You should not be
there. Supporting the Super. You should not be there.
He should be there.
Take it and leave it. He has no business being a part of the under 20, and I think that was a wrong decision on the part of the NFF. Even agreeing, and that's a waste of money, time, and anyway, it is what it is. Misplaced priorities, we will say, as far as Coach Eric Chelle's responsibility of managing the national team is concerned. All right, let's talk about Nigerian football star Asisat Oshoala believes that the Super Falcons Nigerian women's national team can generate as much revenue as the Super Eagles, the men's team, if given equal marketing and promotion. Oshoala made the statement in light of the recent achievement of equal pay for male and female national team players in the US. It's forgivable that it's happening in the US because why? The US national team is as relevant or even more irrelevant compared to the women national team. The women national team has achieved so much as far as US is concerned.
That's not even the case.
No, that's why they were able to fight a cause. Okay. Because they've been winning the World Cup. They've been challenging. They are if the top three in the world as far as women football is concerned, America is there. But for the women national team in Nigeria, with all due respect, they've also been doing very well. They've conquered Africa. But how much is even giving? The Super Eagles is even being old. Even players who played in 2013 are still 1994 are still being old, and you're asking for equal pay. They've not settled the men first. It is when the men have been settled, the women can now say, okay, give us equal pay. And we are talking about marketing. Imagine I'm taking the marketing material. I want to go and market and looking at a team that the sponsor will listen to me as far as Nigerian football is concerned. I will not take Super Falcons there. The guy will tell me, okay, you are not ready. That's the truth. You say you're not ready. Because how many Nigerians will take pain to go and kill themselves to watch the Super Falcons, even as good as the Super Falcons is? And okay, like the Super Eagles is playing today and Super Falcons is playing today, who will you go and watch? Who will you take your 90 minutes to watch? So I think Oshoala is living in, maybe America is already giving her ideas, but America is different from Nigeria, totally different.
Well, I mean, like I was, saying before, Jerry, when you see stuff like this, you start asking, why she's actually thinking like this. Two things. She's in a country where there's this strong, female protection, right? Yeah. And America, pride themselves as, the country of equity and equality. Yeah, so whatever is good for a woman is good for a man. Yes. But let's talk about where football is really the mainstay. In America, it's basketball. They don't pay female basketballers as much as they pay male basketballers.
Definitely not.
They don't even pay.
That conversation will not even come up.
It can never come up in basketball. So for football in America, it's a difference. It's just one of those sports, yes. Right? So not like the sport they want to see. Yeah. Now, if you talk about the marketing, let's talk about Europe. Manchester United, Liverpool. You have a female team.
I don't even know. I don't even know 3 of the players in the women's team.
No, so let's now talk about the female team now. Yeah. The least paid player in the male team in Liverpool, and the most paid player, the highest paid player in the female team. Let's bring their income. Okay, does it mean that the female team of Liverpool does not generate as much? They don't generate revenue.
At least some types depends.
But see, I don't know why she's saying this. But
she's saying this because it's happening in the US. It should happen in Nigeria.
It's football in Africa and Europe is entirely different. You cannot even say this in South America. You can only say this thing now. You can only say this particular thing in the United States. You cannot even say these things in the entire North America. You cannot even say it. So I don't know why she's saying a marketer or whoever it is that wants to watch football will look at what exactly are you bringing before. Okay, let's look at what exactly is the what kind of promotion is he expecting the NFF to give?
Well, at least they are multiple-time African women champion.
What I'm saying is, what kind of promotion is she expecting the NFF to give?
She can maybe educate the NFF. Maybe it will hire a promotion company
because
and contract them to the NFF. My wife, I think maybe that.
How many of the female players we have today? How many of them play in top leagues in Europe?
That's a big question. My wife, I think Oshoala. I think if we can talk to her maybe very soon, she'll be able to tell us more.
Well, I think Oshoala is making a mistake. Let's look at the female football worldwide. How much does FIFA World Cup generate? FIFA World Cup generates over, after deduction, payment, or whatever it is, they generate over $5 billion or thereabout. The female World Cup, the last World Cup that was held, I think generated about 400 million. And even out of that 400 million, the percentage they shared to players were even more than what the male players got, for participating in the World Cup. The thing is the appeal for female football is not there yet. The global following for female football is not there yet. The kind of, like you said, the kind of branding that goes with male football, the kind of brand that the male football attracts, the female football does not attract it. It will shock you that in England, some of the ladies that play professional football, they have other jobs that they are doing. The average of a female team in England, of top teams in England, the highest paid player was Alisha Lehmann before he left for Italy, and that was around $250,000 for a year. Yeah, before he left for Juventus, was $250,000 in a year. The same amount that a male player would get, in a week. It comes back to the fact that the kind of brand, the kind of sponsorship that the male footballers attract, the female footballers do not attract it. So as it is now, female is a growing sport. Even in Africa here, how many African countries have a female team? How many? How many of them? Very few. In South America, how many of them? You're only talking about female football, probably in America, probably in Europe. How many European countries have a functioning female team? They are very far in between. So it's going to take a bit of time, probably maybe in the next 20, 25 years, if they continue to grow. But even at that, they will not grow up to, the male brand. I think Oshoala should just appreciate what they have at the moment and see if they can build a better brand than what it is at the moment. But thinking of equal pay and marketing, I don't think that works. The female football brand across the world does not attract what the male football brand attracts.
All right, this is what it is. So many things to look forward to. And of course, let's talk about the Champions League tonight. Inter Milan has received a boost ahead of the Champions League semi-final second leg against Barcelona. Striker Lautaro Martinez has made a remarkable recovery from the thigh injury, and Martinez is set to feature the high-stakes encounter despite being hooked at halftime in the first leg, and his availability is a welcome boost for Simon Inzaghi's side. And some will say that the cards is looking like it has turned. Everybody were writing Inter Milan off. I, for one as well, was giving Barcelona so much chance. But what we saw at the Nou Camp, I think it's a different line of thought now going to the San Siro.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely going to be a very, very key player. He decided of that game, he's, to actually play through that particular encounter. And of course, the first leg, a lot of persons were, I think you were talking about Barcelona, getting the tie done in the first leg, how easy it's going to be for them. But then Inter Milan actually proved, a whole lot of persons wrong. And I, for one, have not been that person who, have looked down on Simone Inzaghi's side. I saw how he actually, fired his team against Manchester City in that final. That final gave me, an insight of the kind of man he is. He's a tactician. He knows how to actually, destabilize his opponent. He knows how to actually, play from his own strength and, of course, from his opponent's weakness. And that's exactly what he showed against Barcelona. He understood that Barcelona's defense has little level of experience, and of course they are not the best defensive side in Europe. And what he did very well. Barcelona's goals in that particular first leg, if you watch that particular game, you notice that all Barcelona's goals came from individual brilliance. While the goal from Inter Milan, they were purely worked out goals. And of course, if Barcelona is going to actually win this tie, they need to actually do more than just getting goals from individual brilliance. They must find a way to actually break down this Inter Milan side. And yes, Lautaro Martinez is that man who is going to actually, be charged to actually get those goals for Inter Milan. If he's fit, it's definitely going to be a problem for Barcelona. In that first leg, we remember, as it was really very much not in that particular game. Of course, injury was a problem and all of that. But then, in this first, particular second leg, if he plays through this particular game, Barcelona is going to be in this particular game with, less quality in their defense. Jules Koundé will not be playing. Of course, he didn't. Alexander Bade also will not be playing. Didn't play the first leg. So, which means their right back and the left back options are actually not going to be playing this game. So, it's going to give a lot of room for Dumfries to really enjoy himself. And of course, DeMarco, who was actually had to face Jules Koundé in the first leg tie, would definitely
you have to worry about Yamal really dealt with DeMarco.
He's definitely going to worry about. I know the Simone Inzaghi must have learned his lesson after that particular first leg. So I know the Italians, they know how to actually do the job. Take care of a player and all of that. I just pray that the plan is not going to, include taking Lamine Yamal out, because they are very, very effective when it comes to this sort of nasty attitude or behavior. Now, of course, they also will be missing a key player in Benjamin Pavard. But then I think Inter Milan is going to be stronger than Barcelona going into this particular tie, and it's going to be a very big problem for them. Maybe Lewandowski is going to crash into this particular event. Perhaps if he comes in, yes, Barcelona is going to have a sort of confidence going forward. But then Barcelona really need to watch it, because Inter Milan right at home at the San Siro, if they go to goal up again in this particular tie, trust me, Barcelona is never going to recover from it.
Yeah, they're a very difficult side to break, mostly when they are up. Mayowa, it's a lot of work for the likes of Bastoni, Acerbi, DeMarco, and Dumfries to stop Barcelona from causing a lot of problems from the flanks. Most especially DeMarco. I think somebody will need to assist him. Maybe Acerbi will be doing that alongside Bastoni to make sure that Lamine Yamal doesn't run riot at the San Siro.
It's going to be an interesting game. If you look at the first leg, Inter Milan played efficient football. What they did was they were very efficient with the little ball they had, and they were able to do damage. Dumfries was a beast. Marcus Thuram, was something else in front of goal. And also, immediately if you watch that particular game, Jules Koundé did not finish the first half. Immediately he came out, there was a free ride for the Inter Milan side. Remember, Barcelona play a very high line. If Barcelona go the same way they went last week, without their high line, without Jules Koundé, I think there will be a lot of debt for them to pay. What they need to do is to be more conservative. Yes, Lamine Yamal might do one or two things, and the rest of that. I remember Lautaro Martinez was struggling last week. This time around, I think he's fully fit. Jules Koundé is not around. Lamine Yamal, I think what Inzaghi will do, he probably put 2 or 3 persons on him. Yes, it's very difficult to stop. But what Inter Milan want to rely on is they want to rely on the Barcelona playing a very high line. Despite the fact that they have players missing, they will still want to maintain that high line. And if Inter Milan can be very efficient again, like they did last week, I think they are going to get the goals. But the problem was this: the central defense of Inter Milan last week, they let them down. If you look at the goals that Barcelona scored, it was as a result of the central defense sleeping. Not being watchful, not being mindful of their positioning. That was the reason why Barcelona had the opportunity. Ferran Torres had the opportunity to have in the center of defense to score those goals, and giving opportunity to the Barcelona. I hope if they can tidy up their defense, and also relying on the fact that we continue to play their high line, I think Inter Milan has a better shot at taking this particular tie. I want Barcelona to win, because I want an Arsenal-Barcelona final. But in any case, with the way Inter did last week, if they can play the same way and be conscious with the way they defend, I think they have a better shot at winning this particular game.
All right, and of course, the crystal ball is already telling me that it's going to be PSG versus Inter Milan final, because all angles are pointing to
Arsenal versus Inter Milan.
PSG. It's a PSG
Arsenal
versus
Jerry,
Inter Milan final.
Arsenal versus Inter Milan. Arsenal wins the Champions League.
Jerry, it's going to be 3 English side winning every tournament in Europe. Arsenal is Champions League. Man U takes the Europa League. Chelsea takes the Conference League. I hope you'll be able to congratulate us now.
As Wenger has even said that the winner of the Europa League should not be playing Champions League.
I agree. I agree with him.
It's a total
But
disrespect
he should start
for the
next
Champions
season.
League. And
I agree with him, but he should start next season.
All the
How?
wuru
After we win our own this season, let them start it next season.
after all the wuru that you will do to win it.
Celebrate grace so that you go there
Which
next
one is
season.
Grace? That one is Grace. That one, why you? Why is
You are not in Europe now. Celebrate us.
It's a pleasure having you. I wish you all the best. And of course, it's going to be awesome tonight. I can't wait to be in the front of the screen when there's two very interesting teams, as far as Champions League is concerned, takes the center stage.
Well, I'm looking forward to that particular game, and I'm hoping by this time tomorrow we'll be discussing about Barcelona getting to the final. Thank you for having me, Jerry.
All right, Ikechukwu, all the best.
Well, we are looking forward to a very interesting game, like the first leg, and of course the second leg. I don't think it's going to be different. So yes, I hope Inter Milan, find a way through tonight.
All right, all the hopes and the wishes, if they were horses, but definitely they are not. They say time will tell. All right, big thanks to the guys behind the scene who made the show great, talking about the lines of Shegun, not leaving out the lines of Paul, Ikechukwu, and then definitely talking about Alex, and of course to Steve as well. My name is Jerry Apelhai. Up next is Political Lens with Chukwuma Okoro. Until we meet again, stay safe, and if not waiting at all, tweet the sports.